Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Thursday, and I hope everybody had a great day. If not a great day, then at least a good day. Listen, I realized that on yesterday's video, I realized it after I was finished editing it and everything, that I said Tuesday. It wasn't Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Today is Thursday. I hope everybody is having a great day. And, pimples. When are you ever going to get rid of them? I mean, I'm clearly not a teenager. Adult acne is a thing. Okay, so last night I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the second episode for this current season. I'm going to talk about it, recap, rant a little bit, and make me maybe come up with a few things that make me go, like they usually do. Tonight, the person that made me go, was Dorit. So let's get into it. First off, first scene was Dorit and Erica. They met for like an outdoor picnic / English tea party. Dorit starts off right in the beginning. She's upset. She's upset about what, not just about what Erica said at last year's BravoCon about her and PK being the next Bravo Liberty couple that will be separating, will be in Splitsville. She was also just upset about the fact that Erica came into the day at the retreat, came in and led with not an apology. She didn't really give an apology at all. She had to ask, actually, it's almost like Dorit had to ask for the apology, which she kind of apologized, but she really didn't. She defended what she had said. Erica had said, listen, when this week, she said, listen, it just popped into my head. It was just somebody that had popped into my head, and I am so sorry. And it just popped into her head, and she said it. And it came out of her mouth because she really doesn't have a filter. We know that about Erica. So she had apologized, and Dorit then had said that, at the time, her and PK were not having the best of times. She needed him there. He really wasn't there for her. He was in London a lot, and she had said off camera, if I had known that they were in fact having problems, I would not have said anything. I would have, mentioned somebody else and pissed somebody else off. So it seems like everything is okay with them. Now listen, this is what makes me go, The story about Dorit being robbed a second time. Yeah, that was the second time. So here's what happened. She said it was right before Christmas. It was before Christmas. She went to the bank. She took out $10,000 to go Christmas shopping. Put it in her purse. Put it in her wallet, in her purse. Went to the store. Got up to the register. Purse wasn't there. $10,000 is gone. Reported it to the police, and they pulled the video footage. Come to find out that she was followed by 3 guys from the bank to the store, and they had stolen it. So that's a second one. I have a lot of questions. This is not a question. This is me saying, I don't know that I believe this. How are you not going to realize, you're not going to, first of all, notice that 3 guys are following you, the same 3 guys that were at the bank are now following you to the store. This is why I always say, be aware of your surroundings, because apparently Dorit was not aware of her surroundings at all. If she didn't even realize that these 3 men that were at the bank are now at the same store as her. Also, did you not have a credit card? Why are you just getting out like $10,000 and using cash? You don't have a credit card? Also, why don't you keep your purse on you? Like, maybe don't keep a purse with $10,000 right there and then turn your back on it. Seriously, I don't know if I had just had a home invasion and they stole everything. They didn't steal everything, but they stole some stuff. I don't know that I would just be walking around with like $10,000 in cash in my purse. I'm not going to ever carry $10,000 around in my purse. But I don't know. I find this a little weird, like a little suspicious. And there's people, now this is not me saying this is what happened, but I mean, could it be the same people that were part of the home invasion? Because from what I understand, those guys weren't caught. You know, the people who did that were not caught. So I just don't understand why you weren't paying with your credit card. And what store would you go into that has like, listen, I'm gonna say this, stores that you go in that have like a buggy that you put your purse on, I don't think you're gonna spend $10,000. I mean, that being said, could you go into Walmart or Target and spend that kind of money? You probably could. But I mean, there ain't no Targets in Beverly Hills. Like, she definitely ain't going to Walmart. So I don't know. I think it's odd. I don't know that I bought that. Okay. Next was Sutton and the matchmaker. Miss Sutton has had absolutely no luck on the dating apps. That doesn't surprise me. The dating apps, it's been a while since I've been on one. They were a cesspool, and that was when I was on them. They were a cesspool, so I would imagine they still are. So she meets with a matchmaker. She says that she basically is like the queen of the first dates. She very rarely gets a second one because maybe guys are intimidated. Maybe her intellect is a little higher than most people that she's looking to date. She doesn't dress slutty. And then they showed a video clip of her in the kitty sweater. Remember that? And she said she's weird. And then they showed her on the date. Was it last season, I think? Or maybe the season before, whenever she took off her shoe and was talking about her foot neuropathy. And the guy was like, savory over lunch, savory over dinner. So she's looking for some help. Apparently this matchmaker is very, very popular and very successful in Hollywood. Some of the things she wants a guy who has a college education, has a college degree, somebody who has his own money. She is not willing to give up the lead to a man. She has to be in control. Now listen, I think this matchmaker maybe has her work cut out for her, but I'm gonna tell you, I completely understand where Sutton is coming from after hearing her talk later on to Garcelle, because later on you hear Sutton talk about how she gave up. She wants to be so much in control now because when she was married, her ex-husband kept her out of the loop of financial businesses, and he kept her out of the boardroom, and that's where a lot of the decisions are made. She had given up a lot of her power, and she's not up for doing that again, which I commend you, Sutton. I mean, I think that's good. Next up was Crystal, RHOBH, and Crystal's brother, Jeff, aka the Bieber of China. They went to lunch. Jeff also, like Sutton, wants to find a matchmaker. He wants to find a woman, possibly to marry. And Crystal had then said off camera that that she thinks that maybe Jeff is kind of not pissed at her, but blames her for the breakup between him and his ex-fiance. And the reason why this came to mind for him was because they were next door to a place where Jeff and his ex-fiance were going to have a bridal shower or something like that. So Crystal tells the story that, see, Jeff was engaged. Jeff and his fiance were living in China, and then the pandemic broke. The pandemic happened. So Crystal and her mom were like begging him to get out of China and to come over to America. He was able to come over. His fiance at the time was not able to come over because she did not have a valid passport. So she couldn't get out of the country. So Crystal now thinks maybe that he blames her for the breakup. I'm going to tell you, I wasn't a fan of Jeff. I mean, if you are a fan of his, then that's great. I was never a big fan of his. I really hope that he's not going to be a big part of her story at all. I'm just not a fan. I don't know. There's something, I know he has his own money, but I almost feel like he is, I don't know, like maybe he's trying to break through to a different audience here. I don't know. I mean, that's probably not it because he wasn't on that often. There's something about him I'm just not that big a fan of. Crystal, now this is the second episode of this season. Crystal really didn't do much last week. She really didn't do much this week either. I'm hoping that she's going to offer a little bit more. I was kind of surprised to see that she was going to be back this season. I'm hopeful that we're going to get more from her. Last season, she ended pretty good because she was standing up to Erica. So we'll see. She hasn't brought anything so far, but it is only 2 episodes into the season. Next up was Kyle and Dorit. Kyle had driven over to Dorit's house, picked her up in her $165,000 Range Rover autobiography. Yes, that's right. $165,000 for 2023 Range Rover autobiography. Was it beautiful? Yes, it absolutely was. But $165,000. Here in Pennsylvania, you can buy a decent house for $165,000. $165,000. I can't believe it. But anyways, Dorit, so she picks her up. Dorit thinks that they're going to go to lunch, but behind the scenes, Kyle has been in cahoots with PK to plan like this anniversary surprise where they're going to go to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and he's going to show up, and it's going to be like Pretty Woman. That scene with the red dress and, you know, him looking all dapper and her looking all beautiful. It's supposed to be that for their anniversary. Dorit doesn't know. Now, we get on to another topic. Dorit asks Kyle, it's about, you know, their marriage. Dorit asks Kyle how things are with Mo, and she says, stress it's making him stress. Work is stressing him out. Dorit's wondering because she says that, you know, in the past, Mauricio and PK and the two couples would always hang out together. They haven't been hanging out together that much. And she's noticed that they really haven't been on Instagram together a lot. Kyle had said she just needs some freedom, some space. And the question from Dorit was, is that from your husband? And she said, from everything. Now, I'm going to tell you, on the show, this is not, I don't know that if I'm buying it 100%. I don't know. There are things in the show that make it seem like it's like you're thinking, wait, Why would you get upset about that? It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not 100% buying it. I mean, is Cal pushing this storyline just because, like, with the main shitster, Lisa Rinna gone, they need a story? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the producers had went to her and said, listen, Lisa Rinna's gone. We're going to have to stir something up here. So I'm not saying that's what's happening. I mean, that question was put to her on Watch What Happens Live. And both her and Andy were like, that's disgusting. We would never do that. I don't know. I don't know that I'm 100% buying it. Because like I said, some of the things that they fight about are like, it seems odd. So there's that. Next up, Sutton and Garcelle. They have lunch at Sutton's. Listen, Sutton called Postmates. She got some barbecue. She got some cornbread. I'm going to tell you what, there's nothing I love more than some good Southern food, some collard greens, and some, and some cornbread. I love it. So they had met at Sutton. Sutton was talking about, like I said, about her ex-husband, how she gave up control with the money. And when she did that, she felt like she gave up her power. And she's just taking her power back. And Garcelle, I felt bad. Garcelle was pretty emotional. She had said that, you know, last summer, Jax had asked to go live with his father. And she just said she feels like a failure because of what Jax had said. Like she felt like a failure because of what he said, and because it took him to say this and that she didn't notice it beforehand. Sutton, God bless Sutton. She was like, you're a great mother. And to be honest with you, teen boys are assholes sometimes. So there we go. I mean, I think their friendship is a for real friendship. I don't think it's just a friendship that's just on TV. I mean, they have single motherhood in common. They're single mothers who are dealing with exes who are still very much in their lives and the lives of their children. So I enjoy those two together quite a bit. Okay, so this whole surprise with Dory and PK. I know it was supposed to be very romantic, and there are people who are probably like, oh, I loved it. I didn't. This surprise is getting to be more and more annoying. So her husband tries to do this really nice thing for their anniversary, and she, to me, was coming off as just being very ungrateful. Like she's upset that he didn't order everything off of the menu like Richard Gere did in the movie. She is upset because she has to lay out her own fruit. He couldn't get the presidential suite for our anniversary. Listen, bitch, you were just robbed a second time of $10,000. Where do you think all this money is coming from? You can't be grateful? It's the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. It is not the Red Roof Inn in Podunk, Kentucky. Okay? Be a little bit grateful. Where's my bronzer? They bring in her glam squad with all of these beautiful red dresses. Oh, I guess he wants me to wear a red dress. Where's the did somebody bring the Beverly Beach bronzer? Product placement. Beverly Beach bronzer, not sponsored. Where's my bronzer? Because it would look better with bronzer. And then she freaks out because she's worried about the kids being taken care of. So she calls the kids. Kids are like, we know about this. We're fine with it. Leave us the hell alone. She can say that. But I mean, listen, if your husband has this surprise, don't you think he would have thought of everything and the kids would be taken care of? Okay, so she's fine then. She gets dressed up. She looks beautiful. I mean, they do a side-by-side of her and Julia Roberts. I mean, you can't really compare it to Julia Roberts, but I mean, she did look beautiful. She goes downstairs. Oh, you look so beautiful. And then they go back up to the room, and it's like all done up in roses and everything. And then this was the best part. He had Berlin, the group Berlin, not like a tribute band Berlin. It was Berlin with Terry Nunn. Now, true, it was not a song that was from, she was singing Take My Breath Away from Top Gun. It's not a song that obviously was from Pretty Woman, but he led in with something like, You Always Take My Breath Away, and it's one of her favorite songs. Listen, at that point, I would have been like, I don't care that we even eat. Can you just do some of your older songs? Can you do the Metro? I mean, can you do some other songs? Because I was a fan. I was a fan of Berlin in the 80s. So go ahead, do some songs. I would have loved that. So she had said that she was saying, I don't know if she said it to him. I think she did say it to him. She said, well, this wasn't a fun surprise because I wasn't in control. I don't know if she said it or he said it. It was said by someone. It was not a fun surprise because she just wasn't in control because of the PTSD. PK struggling to understand the PTSD. And then she says that she doesn't need like a grand gesture from him. She needs him to help with like the house or the kids or work or schedules. Okay, I get that. But can't you just be like thankful that he did this? I mean, this had to have taken some time to plan and some cost. Plus he got fucking Berlin. The for real Berlin. I don't think you all understand. Berlin back in the 80s. Listen to some of their music from back in the 80s. Oh my goodness. Back then, we were called alternatives. We weren't called emu. It was just alternative music. So, yes. Okay, this was the scene that made me think like, what? So it was Portia's 15th birthday. Kyle had her family over for like a birthday dinner. Okay, when did this whole love bean start? Like, Mauricio continuously calls her love bean. He never called her that before. I don't know. It's weird. He just all of a sudden starts calling her love bean. She then talks about how he's been so busy with his job at the agency and that the agency is the other woman. Oh, really? Because for years now, allegedly, there were other women besides the agency. Another little thing popped into my head. Mauricio's dad, yeah, that's going to be Mauricio. And I'm not mad because Mauricio's dad don't look too bad. So the odd thing that I found was Estella, Mauricio's mom, goes up to Kyle and asks, is something going on with you and Mauricio? Because something keeps popping up every day in Google that you're having problems. And she was like, and she said, yeah, I mean, the press caught me out one day without my ring. I was lifting, I was weightlifting, and I didn't have my ring on. That's all. I thought that was odd to bring that up at your granddaughter's 15th birthday party. I just thought that was weird. I thought that was odd, and that caught Kyle off guard. The other thing that was brought up was tattoos, like the kids having tattoos, and she was like, no, it's fake. And then Kyle was like, does your mom know I have one? And so then a little bit later, she had said to Estella, you're not gonna like this, but I have a tattoo. And she was like, that's fine. And she said something about the kids having tattoos. She said, I don't know if she said yes or no, but she said, but you know, your son has a tattoo. And she was like, no, I didn't know that. So she tells Mauricio this. Mauricio makes this big deal. Well, that was for me to tell. That was for me to reveal. Listen, okay, it's not your coming out story. It is a tattoo, all right? Listen, I have a tattoo, and I showed my mom. And although my mom is not a super big fan of tattoos, I don't think, I mean, I wasn't nervous to tell her that I had gotten a tattoo. I know, he made a big, see what I mean? That's one of the things where it's like, she's like, well, I guess this is what it's like to have a marriage in trouble. Over a tattoo? I think that was forced. See what I mean? That's one of the things that makes me think like, is this for real? Because for real. Meanwhile, in the past, she had to have heard the multiple allegations of him cheating everywhere. Everywhere in the world he had cheated. But this, finally a tattoo, that's what's going to throw you over? No, that's weird. I don't buy that. So lastly, the ladies are flying out to Vegas. Sutton and Garcelle are co-hosting a ladies trip to Vegas because it is Crystal's 40th birthday. Now, you know, if Sutton is the co-host, you know this is style all the way. So she got everybody a personalized bag. Private plane came courtesy of Kyle. Upon arrival, there were red Phantoms. They got Crystal a $3,000 sapphire diamond necklace, and they're staying at Resorts World, but they had like a palace. This palace was, I think they said it's 15,000 feet. It had this amazing like courtyard with an indoor pool. It looked amazing. I don't know if anybody caught this, but the ladies are rooming with people. So it's like Garcelle and Sutton, Dorit and Kyle are rooming together. So Dorit said something like, let the rumors fly. And then they did a flashback of Kyle saying that she's never done the girl thing. And another clip of her saying that apparently she's a lesbian. I found it funny and ironic that they're putting this in there now that there are these rumors that she is more than just friends with Morgan Wade. Like I said, I don't know if anybody else noticed that. I noticed it on my second watch. So yeah, I thought that was kind of ironic. So that was the end. And then they showed, but before they ended it, they showed 4 hours later, Erica had arranged to take the ladies to the Magic Mike show. And before that, on the plane, Erica was talking about like, you know, wear pants if you want to be pulled up on stage. So they're at Magic Mike and something happens because Sutton starts flipping out and saying, take my mic off. I got to get the F out of here. It's intense. So I don't know what happens. So if you watched the show, listen, this week's episode was boring. I'm going to say it was boring as hell. Thank God for that ridiculous story from Dorit. I'm also going to throw up a picture of Dorit at the end here. I don't know if her tagline is her language is fashion and she's fluent in it. This picture at the end I'm gonna put of her confessional look plus that other one with the Chanel look. I don't feeling that. So let me know if you watched what you thought of the episode. If nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there and understanding. Take care of one another. Oh, listen, Miss Dorit taught us a lesson this week to number 1, always be aware of your surroundings. Number 2, stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow for a Golden Bachelor recap. And I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.